Hello, this is another tough video, but this time tough in a rush because I have too many things on my plate and I need to get these things out of my head. So this time the topic is this saying from Socrates: I know that I don't know anything, but the system, or it is approximately like what I'm explaining now. Now, if I look at reality, let's say that is reality. Now, we could talk about whether reality exists or not, but that doesn't matter anything to this discussion here. That is reality. And now we have a distorted reality, something like this. And around this, so this is the perceived reality. Yeah, always doesn't matter whether this reality is the real reality or whether the reality is here. It doesn't matter. But we have a perceived reality. And now there are people looking at this reality. Yeah, they're all around here. Yeah, and look at the reality. Now you can immediately see that those people that are here, they actually have a very clear view of the reality, and that is why I have to come back to the 5 rules of Machiavelli. And so first rule is it is as it is. So this guy actually can follow Machiavelli's first rule. So the others, well, they have a problem. Now the thing is, so this is like all of us. This is 8 billion people. And now the question is, and this is this ring around here. So what do I do with this reality? What do I do? And now let's say my reality, so my perceived reality, my reality. And now the thing is, and now I want to go to who influences my reality. And there I would say there are leaders, powerful people, and then there are not powerful people. I call them underlings, So the whole world, so this is these 8 billion people, and so they're underlings, and the power is, the power is at the leaders. So the leaders are the power, so this is power. Yeah, they have more power than the underlings. The distribution, I come to what the distribution is. Now, the leaders, they obviously are able to influence this perceived reality so that these 8 billion people, or what they are interested in, perceive the reality in a way that it is good for them. And obviously the underlings, they have no possibility. Now the thing is, all of these ones, these are again the 8 billion people, all of us in the world. And now what we can do, and this is our thing about the free will, whether it exists or not, whether it's only perceived or we think we have a free will. But the thing is, what we can do is, if we are here, what we can do, we can try to walk here. Yeah, obviously the leaders will try to prevent us and stay here so that we see their perceived, so that we see their perceived reality, which may be the media and all the other things. If I look at it, this is the world. So this is the science of the world. Yeah, a scientific view of the world. And each one of us has a free will and can decide where it wants to perceive this reality. So always never forget, this is the first rule of Machiavelli: see as it is. And only this person is able to see as it is. Yeah, the others have distorted view. Obviously, everybody has a distorted view, especially because we don't exactly know where this reality is. So it can kind of be around here. Now, what do I do with my perceived reality? And what I would say is we use our free will to kind of move towards the real reality, if we want that. And so this is the scientific world. And now I want to separate that from a personal world. So the science of our personality, our individual person. Yeah? So an individual person. And now the individual person, as you all know, I always draw in split personalities, split brains, so the 3 brain model, and that is the intellect, that is the limbic system for the emotions, and the reptile brain. And now, as we know, the reptile brain says no discussions, because it's very quick in deciding. The limbic system is the boss, so whatever the limbic system of us says is what happens, and the intellect is the slave. Yeah, obviously we perceive that the intellect is the boss, but it's the reptile brain says no discussion, so I don't want to discuss. I go for a leader, I go for a paradigm, I go for some slogan, fine. So no discussion. And the boss is our emotions. And from that, I want to go into the question. So this is the science world. This is my science behind the person. So my individual person. And now what I need to ask is, or what we need to ask, what do we want? Because here, obviously, happiness. So happy. You know, what makes us happy? Happy is a little bit a word that maybe people say, oh, that's too superficial. So call it whatever you want. You want to have sense of life, you want a meaning of life, and all this. This is what I express with happiness. When do we feel happy? And we now need to check now what does happiness mean for each one of us? And so this is very, very important that we need to understand each one of us has a different urge, what he wants to do, but it's mainly based on emotions. Yeah, it's based on emotions. How do we feel? It's not based on being right. It's not being right, or let's say being right is maybe wrong. So to say, know the truth. So know the truth is not what makes us happy. Emotions make us happy. So each one of us has to decide what makes him happy. Maybe it's love, maybe it's food, maybe it's the instant gratification. Yeah, maybe it's Netflix, you know, all that. So this is what we decide. It's maybe no stress, relax, keep calm, chill, chill. That's all. So we can decide what we want here. Now, so this is our decision. Now, if we, from a biological or genetic view, look at these, again, 8 billion people, we can say that they are distributed in a so that this is distributed not in a not in a pyramid, but it is distributed in something that is much more like this. So here are the leaders. Then here are the helpers. And then here are the underlings. Yeah, the mass, if we want to use Machiavelli, so the mass. And now, this is the distribution. And now there is another thing that I have mentioned several times in my videos, and that is that the people are either explorative or fearful. And I would say the rate between explorative, so green is the explorer, and red is the people that are afraid. So afraid or fearful would be fearful. Yeah, fearful people would be. I would say it is about 1 to 100. Maybe it's 1 to 40 or so on, and it depends how you define when is somebody explorative. But it is a very big difference between explorers and afraid. So maybe if you want to, we can do it. It's 1 to 10, but it's around between these two numbers. So you have much less explorers and many more mass and underlings. Where an explorer can be an underling as well. If he's powerless, somebody, an underling, from here, an underling is here, he sees the reality, but he cannot do anything, so he's an underling, and now what can he do? Nothing. He's there, he knows, so probably he's in one of the worst situations. He knows the reality, and he's completely frustrated that the other ones don't see the reality, what can he do? Nothing. He's an underling, so he's not one of the leaders in power. And this leads exactly to the thing that comes immediately up, and that is perceived reality. Where do we think we stand? So each of us thinks he is there. And now here, we all think we are here. We all think that. And this would be now, for me, a very good psychological analysis of where you can say, could we do analysis of the politicians, of the helpers, of the underlings, of kids, and so on? Please check what this system here makes to politicians, helpers. Does a politician know that he lies? Does a politician know where he stands? Does he know how his brain functions? Does he know, or this is also for the court trials very important, does he know he's wrong? Does a helper know he's wrong? And this is for me a very, very important question, because we all think we are here and we all think we are right. And now, in order to end this video, I want to give as a kind of, for me, the most important conclusion of all that and of Corona. So I see Corona as the biggest boost to thinking about societies and where we want to live and what is important to us, and so on, whether we are Democrats, whether we are underlings, the loved underlings that have to be there because we are not able to do critics, we don't criticize anybody, we go with the masses, and so on. So the Corona experience is fantastic. So my question is, what is the best governmental system? So I write that in green. So what is the best governmental system for all of us? And this is a very strange question, because what does it mean for all of us? You know, because a lot of the underlings are very, very happy. You know, underlings are very, very happy. So happiness has nothing to do with that I see reality. I can be here and I can be completely happy. You know, I can be the happiest underling there is with perceived reality. That fantastic, you know. And so what is the best governmental for all of us? Because he is as worthy as this person, he is as worthy as the leader, he is, you know, so it's equally distributed. So what is the best system that makes all of us happy? And now my claim is that the Corona crisis has shown us that we move kind of into the wrong, we overstretch it. You know, this is not good. We move towards hell for many. Also, some people might, or many people might love this hell. Now, the thing is, what is the best governmental system? And that is always, as in nature, it's a power restricting system. That means you always have to have, how do you draw this? Yin and yang. Oh, I cannot draw yin and yang. So yin, yeah, something like that, and yang, you know. So it is a system, good and bad. It's weak and strong. It is female, male. It is this continu, and both of them have to be, at a balance. This is what is very important. And I think the designers of our democratic system has exactly put that into the US the Constitution, into the European or German, for example, Constitution, that you have different powers, the separation of powers. So you have different powers in your system, and they compete with each other. And so if you have, for example, 3 powers, and they all can kind of watch each other and so on, that's great. Or kind of in a parliament, for example, that the parliament does the law, they define the law, and the government then rules according to these laws. That's again something where power and then ruling, maybe it's kind of, but you have always both. So you must have a power restriction system, because if you don't have that, then you have this excess that the leaders become always more powerful and the underlings always less powerful. Now think about this, and there is no good, there is no bad, and I'm going to do a video on that, and the emotions make it so. Shakespeare said, and the thinking makes it so, but where do we think? And the thing is, so Shakespeare said the thinking makes it so, and if we look at these 3 brains being the thinking, it means, but because our limbic system, our emotions make it so. So there is no good, there is no bad, it's just how we feel towards the 2 things. And that has nothing to do with a scientific, intellectual, truth-related judgment. It is an emotional judgment. I hope that was interesting, and I hope that kind of causes thinking. I hope that causes discussion, and because, as Machiavelli said, that this love or crush, his 4th rule, actually makes sure that people, in general, the underlings don't, but also the helpers don't. So the helpers, as they would be here, helpers, So there's 3 levels: leaders, helpers, and underlings. So that there is no discussion. It's, I give you an order, you do it, and shut up. And that is love or crush. So that's the conclusion of this video. I hope you liked it. Comments are most welcome. Have a great day. Bye bye.